out loud.
Okay. Any writer whose purpose is personal expression sometimes uses words ambiguously. Ugh. Every poet's purpose is personal expression. Thus, no poet's reader's enjoyment depends on attaining a precise understanding of what the poet meant. Okay. Oof. The conclusion can be properly inferred if which one of the following is assumed. Okay.
So what do we have to do first?
Conclusion.
Awesome.
So I remember I highlighted, thus, no poetry's reader enjoyment depends on attaining a precise understanding of what a poet meant, because two premises: any writer whose purpose is personal expression sometimes uses words ambiguously, but then every poet's purpose is personal expression.
So if you're a poet,
I assume you're a writer.
So if you're a poet, your purpose is personal expression, but any writer whose purpose is personal expression sometimes uses words ambiguously. Someone would do like sometimes.
Yeah, I remember I wrote like on top of the arrow, like sometimes, like M-A.
Yeah. And so no poetry reader's enjoyment depends on attaining a precise understanding of what the poet means. So why are we saying that no poet? So like whenever we read poetry, we don't attain a precise understanding of what the poet means.
I guess because they're using those words ambiguously.
Yeah. So what could our prediction be here that would guarantee this conclusion?
That if the poet uses ambiguous words, then a poetry reader, like it doesn't matter to a poetry reader. Like it's not like,
Yeah, I get like I think like any like if like ambiguous words can sometimes be used, then the enjoyment can't depend on what the poet means or something like that.
yeah, like something that is just like it won't affect them to the point where they're like not enjoying it or something.
Excellent. Yes. Or it's not what, yeah. Or anything that could be taken in different ways can't be what, yeah.
Yeah. So
All right.
when I did this, I was like, okay, I know enjoyment is just a word that comes out of nowhere. So I know I have to connect all the premises to the idea of like enjoyment.
Depends on attaining or a precise understanding of what the poet means.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and start with A.
Okay. Writers who sometimes use words ambiguously have no readers who try to attain a precise understanding of what the writer means. So you're a writer. So I guess you're a poet. Maybe.
So does it guarantee it of no writers who try?
Oh, ready to try. No, it doesn't guarantee it.
Yeah,
Does
and
it?
that doesn't mean that their enjoyment does not depend on the precise understanding of what the poet means either.
Yeah.
So it's not A.
Okay.
All right, what about B?
Writers whose purpose is personal expression are unconcerned with whether anyone enjoys reading their works. No, that's not gonna connect to the conclusion.
Yeah, writers whose purpose is personal.
Yeah, they're like, whatever. Like,
We don't care about if people enjoy our works or not. It's not through the perspective of the writer. Excellent.
okay. No writer who ever uses words ambiguously has any reader whose enjoyment depends on attaining a precise understanding of what the word writer means. Okay, so if you're a writer that uses the words ambiguously, right? So that's sufficient. Then no reader whose enjoyment depends on attaining a precise understanding of what the writer means. Yeah, I think that connects.
Yeah, so no writer who uses words ambiguously. So we know any writer whose purpose is personal expression sometimes uses words ambiguously.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Has a reader, so no one of them. So do blue. Has a reader whose enjoyment depends on this.
Yeah.
So if this, then it does not depend on that meaning.
Which is true.
Yep, because
Okay.
we connect those two. So our answer is going to be C. Let's go on
Yeah.
to D for a second.
Most writers whose readers' enjoyment does not depend on attaining a precise understanding. Wait, what? Did I just? Okay. Most writers whose reader enjoyment does not depend on attaining a precise understanding of the writer's words or poets. No, I think that's backwards. And most writers, it's like not 100% gonna guarantee the conclusion.
Yeah, and we're like, and this is saying that they are poets, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, cool, but that doesn't mean that no poetry readers then does. It's just saying that most of them are poets. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. Excellent. And then what about E?
The readers who have a precise understanding of what a writer has written derive their enjoyment from that understanding. But okay, I don't think this is gonna help either, because it's like, oh, if you have a precise understanding, then you get your enjoyment. But we're talking about like people who no reader's enjoyment depends on attaining a
Yeah,
precise.
that doesn't like it's like, okay, cool, but we're talking about poetry readers' enjoyment not depending on this.
Yeah,
Excellent. And so our answer is going to be C.
that makes a lot of sense. I think I had